Hello traders, Sid here with another episode of weekly watchlist video. So far, we have seen wild intraday swings in the last week, and I feel like market is still not sure which direction to pick. Now, second quarter is almost over, and the third quarter earnings are upon us. It will be interesting to see what companies like Apple, Microsoft present in their future guidance because that's important. I think the market is anticipating somewhat better guidance, and because of that, we may see a small bull rally in the market, and that depends on how Fed reacts to these inflationary measures. If they start tightening more and more, then this guidance doesn't make any sense, and we will start selling off again. If we see that inflation is not rising or it's coming down and Fed relaxing their tightening policies a little bit more, then that give us a hope, and we might see a extended period of bull rally in the market after beating down from all-time high around like 475 in SPY, in regards to the SPY, and so on and so forth. So now the major thing here is the word anticipation, because market is future. Market always sees a future, like what's going to happen in the future, and they adjust their price accordingly. So this anticipation may turns out to be a positive or may turns out to be a negative. So we just have to be more careful going forward, and I would like to see like what these major companies project in their guidance and how Fed reacts to that guidance in regards to their monetary policy to control the inflation. So with that said, now let's get started with this week's list, starting with the Nasdaq. Now Nasdaq has this bear flag formation, but it's forming in such a manner that you need to wait for how its price action develop over the next few days. Why I'm saying this, because if you look at the RSI and the stochastic, now stochastic is turning bullish, little bit bullish, and at the same time RSI is bouncing off this line, this yellow line, which is a median. So that indicates that we might see a small, or maybe little bit of bear bull market or bull rally in the market. But in that case, I'm expecting a move towards 1800, which is somewhere around here, which is not that much. And if we can break north of this level, then 12 to 64 is within a reach. And this 11800 level is little bit has more important, because it's the retracement of this fib retracement of 0.382 level, and at this point we need to see like what this price what price action we are getting. Are we getting consolidation over here, or we are breaking north to reach to 12 to 64, or we get a rejection from that level and coming down? Because if you see this 0.382 level, where previous support might turn into resistance, and we might get a rejection from that level. So these two scenarios are possible. So what major thing we need to keep in mind is we need to see how price action behaves when it reached to 11800 level. Moving on to S&P 500, it's very similar to Nasdaq, nothing special, exactly carbon copy of Nasdaq. So what level we need to watch for is if we can hold this 3850 level, similar to Nasdaq, as it start moving towards this 3900, like this previous support will turn into a resistance, and we just want to see like if we can get a rejection from somewhere around here, which is close to 3900, and then it will coming down again. Next one is XLV. XLV looks good with its inverted head and shoulder formation. It's still in the formation, and there might be a possibility that this formation may not played out. So just keep that in mind. At this price, it might push as high as 132, which in this case, like the previous resistance, can act as a resistance to break at this level. So 132 level can be possible. We are still bullish. Stochastic and RSI are still bullish, so we can get another push. But when we start crossing this level around like 130, we can consolidate over there, because as you guys can see here, there is a bit of a volume or price action involved within this price range from 130 to 132. So just keep that in mind. But if it reach to 132 and get rejection, then we can complete this head formation and start forming the right shoulder. And at that point, I would like to see if it comes down to 127 or 123. Moving on to VIX. VIX is very interesting because it is forming this bull flag formation, but before that it might come down and retest this 26, probably around like 25.50 level once again. And at that point, RSI and stochastic might turn bullish. Right now they are bearish, so that will be an indication if it wants to bounce back up, and market will start selling off again at that point. So these things, you just have to keep this in mind. Also, volatility is inversely correlated with stock prices, so just keep that in mind. But I think like this stochastic and RSI will play bearish for next few days, probably next few week, because next week is like a 4-day week. So if we don't get enough volume, then we might see that struggle either towards the upside or towards the downside, or we might get a consolidation across the board. So just pay an attention to VIX, how it moves, and play your trades accordingly. Apple is looking bullish, and the catalyst for that might be their earnings are coming up. Their earnings are on 20th July, and that might be enough for us to give a small bull rally. And in current price, like it can push towards this 143. At that level, we might see a rejection because of this prior price action. You guys can see here this support might turn into a resistance, and if we can get a breakthrough from this 143 level, then 148 is not that far off. But that will be a stretch considering the market conditions and everything. So if that happens, then if we get this push towards 148, 150, then just load your puts at this price, because that will be a solid point of rejection. As again, this is not a financial advice. Do your research and play your trades accordingly. I'm just suggesting what I'm seeing and what I might want to do. Moving on to AMD. Now all semiconductor sectors has been beaten down a lot in last week. So we have this AMD in oversold territory, and you guys can see here it's stochastic and RSI both are still bearish turning into bullish, and that might give us a push towards this 87 level. Now the other catalyst for that one is earnings. So AMD has its earning on 26 July. So if we get a either we can get a gap fill. So we have this gap to fill around towards 71, and if we couldn't hold this level, then we can fill this another gap between 63 to 62, and the final resting point, if this downward slides continue, will be 59 or close to 60. And if AMD came down that far, then we can get a solid push towards the upside towards 65 70, and that will be a solid play towards the long side. Next one is Boeing has a nice bear flag, but before breaking down, it will retest 140 147, which is right this level at the resistance of this broadening wedge, and you must wait for a proper rejection for in case of a Boeing, because Boeing is very notorious for wild moves in opposite direction to the market. So just keep that in mind and play cautiously. But if it gets rejected from this level, which is highly possible, then you can get a nice play towards the downside, some towards 132 134 and 126. So these are the three levels to watch for. This resistance at 148 147, rejection from that level will take you to retest this 134 126 very quickly. So that will be a nice profit play right over here. Next one is Baba has a beautiful rising wedge. As you guys can see here, also we are approaching to the resistance zone. So look for a rejection, and if we get a rejection from like 121, then 104 110 104, and after that 100 level is not that far off. Next one is CVS is also has this nice bear flag formation. This is a pole, this is a bear flag. We got a rejection from the upward resistance of this parallel channel. We came down and bounced from this point 382 level from 92, and now we are heading towards this 95 level. Now the interesting things to watch, if we can break through 95, then we can quickly go to retest this 96 level. At that point we can face a heavy resistance and break down towards 90 once again. Next one is Lockheed Martin has this beautiful rising wedge formation, and similar to CVS, it is also heading towards this resistance zone. If you see the price where it is at right now, this 433 is at the edge of this massive chop zone that we had over here. Now either it can push it into this resistance zone, retest this 442 443 level, which will be the midway of this chop zone, and then get a solid rejection coming down towards 400 or 415 417. So just keep an eye on that one. Also, its earnings are coming up in 26 July, so maybe you can see a pullback before getting another bull run before its earning. McDonald's has a beautiful rising wedge, and similar to Lockheed Martin, it is also heading towards this resistance zone. If you guys see clearly over here, we got a solid rejection from 1 2 3 4 and multiple times over here. So this is the fifth rejection over here. So either we can similar to LMT, we can either reach halfway through, which will be around like 256 257, and then we can get a rejection from there. If we get a rejection, keep an eye on this 250 249 level. If we broke through that level, then 246 will be the next price target to watch for. NVDA, similar to AMD, NVDA is also beaten down a lot, but what I expect it to do is it can probably retest this 136 level pretty quickly, because this prior resistance can turn into support, and we might get a bounce from that level. It's still bearish, so this is entirely possible. Stochastic and RSI are still bearish, so this is entirely possible that we might see a retest of 137 136 level and bounce back up towards 158 before its earning. And the last one is Pepsi. All this NVDA, MACD, LMT, CVS, these stocks has a similar formation, and Pepsi is not that different. We got solid bull rally into the resistance zone. Now we need to see whether it can get a rejection, or at what point it can get a rejection. In my guess, we can complete this halfway through of this resistance zone, which is somewhere around like 172, and that point like RSI will be close to oversold territory. Stochastic is already in oversold but still showing the bullish sign, so we might get another push. So if you wait patiently among all these stocks like Pepsi, NVIDIA, MACD, Lockheed Martin, CVS, then you can get a nice play towards the downside, or in case of NVIDIA and AMD towards the upside to gain massive profit. So thank you for watching this video, guys. That's it for this video. I hope you will enjoy your long weekend, and happy 4th of July. Stay safe and see you again in next video. Bye.